Good morning. It is, fuck, I don't even know. Someday in October. And it's Thanksgiving. Today is Thanksgiving. Check out my view. Like, okay, so this is my backyard here. I'm like, look at this. Look at that. Like, what is that? Ain't nothing like that in Ontario. Anyways, I figured today, while I have Mr. Riddle out here, kind of just hanging out, I would tell you about my crazy 4-day adventure from beginning to end. I know I talked about, I know I talked about the hotel, the first hotel I stayed in, and it was kind of spooky and really ridiculous and all these other things, but, well, I didn't tell you what happened there, but anyways, so I'm not going to name the hotel, but basically this hotel has a pretty bad reputation. Like, you can go there and like rent a room for a couple hours and have sex. There's like themed rooms. There's all this crazy cool things and also crazy things. And then let's not forget that the spiritual energy there is redonkulous. But those are all like the charming aspects of the hotel. But it was in Quebec. And I don't know what it is about people in Quebec, at least majority of the people that I connected with specifically. I guess they don't like English speaking people that don't speak French. They kind of like look upon you like, oh, you're one of those, you know? But I actually am bilingual. It's just not French. I migrated here. Not me specifically, but my grandparents migrated here. My mom was born in Portugal. I was the first of my family on my mom's side to be born here in Canada. So, yeah, bilingual, yes, but French is not. And that's the great thing about Canada, is that it's multicultural. So, I think people should like start, understanding that not everybody's going to be Portuguese. Not everybody's going to be French. But anyways, so dude was like, it's $95 for the room for the evening, and then you have to pay a $40 deposit. Now my French friend, Catherine, had said, what is the deposit for? And he's like, it's just a deposit. And she's like, for the dog? And he's like, no. So we were like, all right. Went into the room. Yeah, my dogs were a little bit noisy, but by the time it was like 11 o'clock, everybody was quieted down. Then the next morning, I go and check out to go get my $40 back. And dude behind the counter is like, you have dog? And I'm like, yeah, but we told the guy that yesterday. And he's like, well, dog is $25 charge. Nobody charged you for dog. And I'm like, I mean, okay, that's not my fault though. Like, we didn't agree upon this before I even came here. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? And dude was like, I'm only giving you $15 back. Like, what? So I was like, wow, all right. I'll make sure to post a wonderful review about how fucking rude you are here. And, I was so fucking mad. And we ended up leaving the hotel, and I just had this very bitter taste in my mouth. Like, I don't think if I was, I don't know, French speaking, I don't think he would have treated me like that. I don't know. That's just my opinion. We finally get out of there, which was definitely like, day one. We only drove for 3.5 hours that day because it took us until like 4 p.m. to get on the road, and it was too much. So Landon was like, we're gonna drive as far as we can today. And we're like, okay, let's do this. Now, my Chihuahuas and my German. So I had my Chihuahua and my German. Oh my God, I don't have a German. A golden retriever were in the back. And it just wasn't working. There was a lot of stuff in the car, the truck. So I decided to hold my babies in my arms pretty much not pretty much, the entire way. So I had to hold these dogs on my lap. And then on top of that, Landon and I had to make sure that we stopped every 3 hours to make sure everyone took a piss, a poop, food, gas, like whatever we needed. We stopped it all at the same time. We had like a little routine. Landon would fill the truck up and pay for the gas, and then I would get all of the dogs like into the bathroom. So, we'd get everybody going in, and then if we had to go to the bathroom, we would do our own thing too. We'd go ourselves. So we drove through Quebec, finally. Felt like forever before we got through Quebec, and everything was French, which is hilarious. And then we got to New Brunswick. New Brunswick is where Landon was like, okay, we need to make a little room in the truck. So he decided to take a bunch of clothes that we had initially put in the truck that was getting in Riddle's way, and we shipped it off, because why the fuck not? So we did in New Brunswick, and so that was shipped off. Then we drove for a little bit longer, and we finally got to Nova Scotia. So that was our goal for the day. We were like, okay, let's get to Nova Scotia. We'll pull over, we'll stay in a hotel, and we'll drive 3 hours. No. What ended up happening is we ended up getting to Nova Scotia. We tried one tiny hotel, and they were like, all the hotels are filled to the brim here. And we're like, what? What do you mean? They're like, yep, you have to keep driving to get a hotel. And I was like, fuck. So I started going on the hunt. I found a hotel, but it was like a little hotel that wasn't really like, it was like family owned. So we were like, okay, we'll try that. By the time we got to the hotel, it was like 2 a.m. And I guess because it's family owned, they went to bed. So we were calling, and the woman was like, you should have been here earlier. And we're like, I mean, we would have been if we didn't run into these fucking issues. Like, come on now. So she finally lets us in. She charges me like $1 million for the room. I swear to God. I didn't even care at this point. I was just like, whatever. The dogs were because they had been in the car for so long, they were extra rowdy. We were trying so hard to keep them quiet. It was just a hot mess. Anyways, we were only in there for about 6 hours, 7 hours. That was pretty much it. Me and Landon were fucking dead tired. But we carried on with our day, got ourselves to the ferry, which was exciting. That part was kind of cool. I was so tired. I didn't sleep a fucking wink. Landon didn't really sleep a wink. Pretty much both of us. The night before, when we were at that hotel, the spooky one, the bed was literally like a fucking rock. So we were like, no, we're going to try to sleep on the boat, Well, here's where things get very interesting. I have been known to get seasick. So I got myself these like little bands for the arms, and I also got myself an edible. Now, it's been a long time since I've had edibles. I used to have them like more consistently, but ever since I started working on the podcast, like I kid you not, like I don't have a social life. If I have a social life at all, it's for about an hour a day. So no point in doing anything like edible wise. But I'm going to be on a boat. So I figured, okay, I'm going to take an edible. Well, I decided to take 2 edibles because my body is used to, or so it used to think, it used to edibles. So when you don't have edibles for a while, remind yourself to take it slow. I should have known that, considering I'm like a pretty avid, I smoke a lot of weed, but not on top of that, but like edibles are very different kind of high. So I took a little bit more. And because I was not in a good headspace, because the entire trip had just been such a shit show, I was extremely paranoid. I was worried that the boat was going to sink. I was worried that we're not going to make it here. I was crying. I was panicking because I had so many people on my rebooking list that I had to do. And because we don't have internet until the 15th, I was freaking out on how the fuck I was going to get these readings done. I was really upset. And I let it all out. And of course, Landon, he was tired, so he ended up falling asleep while I sat there in my panic. But he needed to sleep. Good thing he got a little bit of sleep, because the next part of the story was pretty fucked. So we get on the boat, we get off the boat, we get in our car, and we drive off. We're like, Landon's like, okay, I'm gonna get some gas, and then we're gonna go a little further. And he's like, we're gonna go as far as we can, because it's moose hunting season here. It's not a good idea to be on the roads at night. It's kind of really dangerous. So we were like, okay, we're gonna go as far as we can for the next couple hours, pull over, and then start our day early today, right? Wrong. Well, where we were at is where Fiona had hit, and a lot of families were in hotels. So there was very limited space in hotels anyway. So we called around, and there was literally nothing, because, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. Our truck broke down. It just didn't turn over. It wasn't the battery. We ended up having it towed. Dude was trying so hard to get us a place to stay, and we were so extremely appreciative, but it just wasn't working out. So luckily for us, it wasn't that cold of an evening, and we stayed in our car. But we have never in our lives ever been to the point where we had to stay in our car. And that was kind of like really scary. So we stayed in our car, took turns, doing our thing. I was upset. Landon was upset. We were both like, did we make the biggest mistake of our lives? No. So we felt really like down and out about all that, But ironically enough, we managed to have a bit of a sleep. And as uncomfortable as it was, we all fell asleep, which was great. Dogs, us, we were good. Well, the next morning, we get out of the car because the guy's there to fix it, and the truck just starts up. Like, the fuck. He checks on it, makes sure everything's okay. He tells us he thinks it was like because everything was like, moving on the boat. Maybe that's what caused the problem. All right. So that was basically what happened there. We think that something bad might have happened if we had kept going that night, or we would have missed something. I don't know. But we feel like the universe was stopping us from going. So we took that as okay, we need to stay. So we paid for another hotel stay, the equivalency of what it would be to be a hotel stay. And we went, look at this. Are you having a good time with your stick, baby? He's such a sticky boy. Anyways, so we start driving, and I don't know what it was, but I have never been anywhere like Newfoundland. I know there's not a lot here. I know that because it's an island, you don't get all of the finer things in life, right? But none of that mattered. Like, the people are so nice. The things I got to do, the views, the mountains, the moose. We saw a couple of moose. It was so beautiful, and we are so grateful. And we love this house so much. We don't think we're gonna stay here and buy this house or buy a house in this area, but we're definitely staying in Newfoundland. We're probably gonna stay here until we can afford to buy a house, pretty much. We spent a lot of money moving, so once we accomplish that goal, we'll be banging. We'll be pretty happy. I feel so amazing here. I can't even express how happy we are to be here. And yeah, it's nice. It's really fucking nice. And of course, we hadn't told any of our Newfie friends, just one or two, and everyone was shocked that we were here. But we love it. We don't want to be anywhere else, and the dogs love it. Everybody loves it. But we got here, and of course, we were pretty fucking tired. We don't have anything. We have no furniture, zero furniture, and there's zero furniture around. So we're like, how the fuck are we gonna get furniture? So we're gonna figure some things that we're probably gonna have to buy from Wayfair and things like that. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We're just happy to be here together. It'd be nicer if our internet worked so that we can accomplish other goals that we have, including the podcast. And the podcast episode, the more recent one from Judith Barcy, is going to be 4 days late. And people are unhappy about that. But, I'm sorry, guys. I really am. I'm not trying to cause anybody problems or make anyone feel a certain way. Trust me, I want to post them too. This is my business. It affects me too, so, but it just feels nice. We have a nice, beautiful king-size mattress. We made sure to buy one before we left. Good thing we did, because I doubt we would have found one out here. And we're excited about that. So having wonderful sleeps, and tomorrow I'm going to be heading off to McDonald's or another fast food place so that I can work for the day. I've got to do 4 days of work, and then the internet will be here. So fingers crossed for me. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you all of the things that happened, and I'll be uploading these videos as soon as I can, probably in the next couple of days, now that I'll have internet for at least the work side of things, which will make me feel a little bit better. In the meantime, I'm working on episodes for the podcast, and I'm almost done the Austin Yogurt Shop Murders, and after that I will be working on this other one, but I can't work on that one until I have Prime, so I might just work on my bonus episodes in the meantime. Yeah, so hopefully you guys have a good day, and I know I rambled, but it was a long-ass story. Bye! There, I wanted to show this view a little bit better. This is my backyard. Literally. Isn't that gorgeous? I can't even deal with how beautiful it is.